Today we find out if big guys can be cave divers, and also what happens when your rebreather completely fails deep inside a cave. Well, hello everyone, my name is Gus.
Hi, I'm Woody.
And today we're going to be reacting to our own video. Yes. We went diving, cave diving at Jug Hole in Florida. Jug Hole is a small cave in comparison, only 500 feet or 550, something like that, feet deep. And it's also not a cave for beginners. I think we both agree that it's not. Yeah. It's not a super technical, complex cave only elite cave divers can go to or anything like that. But I think if you're a brand new cave diver, you should probably give this one a break and then go later.
And let's say why very quickly.
Yeah, and we will see it on the video, and we'll talk about it. So this video is actually from us. It's not the best quality video, I'll just admit, and that's because this was like the morning that we were going to go diving. We were like, why don't we just bring cameras and like try to record this thing? But we were not really prepared for it. So this is kind of like the material that we salvaged from it. And what we'll do is to speed up the reaction, we'll try to talk on top of it and not stop the video so much.
Will that make sense? I mean,
well, yeah, because we don't have any music or anything. Let's just talk
give it a try.
It. Let's see how it goes. This is obviously unrehearsed.
Oh boy! Which is my butt made it like.
So that is what the entrance looks like. By the way, that little creek or.
Well, one reaction right here. The first.
Well, let's talk about why.
The first reason it's not a beginner's cave is that flow right there at that spot where you're tying off the primary.
Yeah.
Which is what you need to do. You need to tie off a primary so you have a continuous guideline to the surface right above Gus's surface. Is ripping. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're either having to kick a lot to stay right there or hold on to that branch.
It's for sure the toughest flow that I've ever experienced in a cave. It's like swimming against the river. And the reason why I volunteered to do the line, by the way, is because of that. Is because Josh said this will be like swimming against the fire hydrant,
which it was
is open. And I'm like, okay, let me do the line because
practice.
It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be all over the place. But I knew you guys are gonna be patient and helpful. And you know, if it looks bad, that's okay. Like we can all learn from it. We can all learn from it. So
I love that.
So this is what I'm doing. So I'm diving the Sidewinder. By the way, this cave pretty tight, especially for me. If I had, let's just rephrase this. It doesn't really matter how small you are. I think anything in your back you can fit.
There's no way you would have gotten through that one restriction you're going to show if you would not have been on the Sidewinder.
Yeah, I had to be on a side mount, rebreather, and tanks, or else there's no way.
No chance.
But what I was saying is, if you have doubles in your back, like even if you're 100 pounds, you can't fit.
No way.
It's too small. So anyway, so now you're about to witness me running a line in the heaviest flow I've ever been to.
You did great.
Well,
not easy.
Yeah.
No, I mean
we did it. So that's good.
I was coming over to help.
Yeah. So the ending, what I'm tying right now is the ending of our line. The ending of our line is supposed to be in open water. So if you go back to the video and pause it, you will notice that right above us is the hole, basically, you can call it. So here I am trying to move, but man, the flow is killer. You can't see it on the video, but
I had to hold on. You see me holding the rock there? If I let go, I'm going to be shot out like a missile.
Yeah.
Look at you. It's hard, man. You're just like...
It's crazy.
It's really ripping here.
And also I'm familiar with the cave, so I'm like, where would I go? Trying to find the best path for the line. Like I'm trying to talk it into rocks and stuff. Like you can see I'm doing my secondary tie up on that rock. The secondary tie is already in the cavern, but close to the exit. The idea is if they knock off the one that is in open water, the ending basically, you still have a secondary which is very close to the entrance.
I believe that spot right there was... It
was like right on the top right. You were right behind me. So Woody's second in the team. His responsibility is to light up like my area of work. I noticed that my Orca torch is dangling and pointing to where I'm tying and stuff. That's part of why I rig it the way I rig it, because I like that I can attach it and it's like
I need to redo that, by the way. For mine, that little line ripped off.
Okay. So here I am trying to drag and kicking and pushing. Just trying to make it. And you can see kind of the particles just flying by. I mean, this flow is ridiculous.
Yeah, and for those watching, it's look.
I'm like, where? Where do we
He's
go?
touching here, but it's okay. There's a massive amount of flow.
Oh, my God.
There's no way he can't.
So we finally make it to the main line. And you can see the stuff flying by, like, just super fast.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tie on the main line. So kiss it, lock it, wrap it is the technique that I
call
follow.
it 2-2-2.
Yeah.
Two around the main line, 2 back around your snap there, and then you're gonna wrap it around your line twice.
I have no idea how I'm actually staying there. I mean, this thing was insane.
You're kicking. You have to be kicking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not gonna stay put.
All right. So now I go 2, 1, and 2. And then 2 around, and we're set.
That's me giving him a cheer because that was a big task. We're both on sidewinders.
Yeah. You guys ready? Look at the rock moving. That humongous rock is moving by the flow.
I was holding that thing to keep me from flying.
All right, so this was right after. Unfortunately, we don't have any footage of going through the bedding plane. We have footage coming out of it, so people will get to see the first restriction, which is, what would you say, like 2 feet or something?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's basically 2 rocks, one on top of another like that. There's no way to go. And how long do you think is it? Like 30 or 40 feet long that you have to drag yourself through?
No, I think they say that's actually 100 feet.
Is it 100?
I think so.
I don't know.
One
Well,
thing
anyway.
I'm noticing, Gus, is on your right, for those
Yes.
Sidewinder critics, you also have the same issue I have. You see how the
Well,
scrubber and the tank are not touching?
Because I
want
connected it
them-
wrong. I did it wrong.
Okay, I was wondering
Yes.
why. I want them to touch on
Yeah,
mine. And
so
they're
if you
not.
notice, my double ender for the back of the tank, it's actually on my hip.
Oh, it was not up high.
I
didn't notice that before.
Josh connected that, but it was because I told him to do it. So it was my fault. Instead of connecting it to the square.
Just to make
on the
people
back.
understand, it should be connected
Yeah.
up kind of close to where the green handle is
Yep, right here.
by his O2. So that would pull that tank
Right.
up.
So this will be up here, which means the tank will be parallel, touching with the scrubber, which it wasn't, but that was my fault. So anyway, so here we passed the restriction, the first one, the bedding plane, which is pretty tight, and that's the one that I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fit through that. I mean, that thing is small. And anyway, we fit, so that's good. Breaking news. And here we're waiting to go to the second restriction, which is diamond sands, which is the small keyhole size
Pretty.
restriction. And the question here is, for those of you watching, can somebody bigger than the hole fit through it? Because I feel like, and you'll see it on the video, when you get to the hole, it's like, I mean, Gus is twice as big as the hole. Like, this is not, I can do math. It's not going to work. But anyway, let's watch.
By the way, mine aren't touching either, which is what I've been telling you I don't like. I gotta.
Yeah, but you can see there. Just a little bit back. Let me see. If you can see here that you actually have it on the right on the square, right?
Yes.
So Woody has it up in the square, whereas I have it on this guy right here, the one in the waist. So it's just way lower, and that's why mine is sagging a little bit. All right, so we're both maintaining trim out. I know it looks like we're laying on the bottom, but we're not.
Nope,
we're like
nope, we're not
inches
touching
away
the
from
sand.
it.
It's
Fins are up high.
It's tight in there. I mean, so it
Yeah.
looks like we're right near the bottom, but
That's Josh.
there just isn't much room. It's
Yeah.
Maybe a couple feet.
Yeah, so you can see here we're not touching. We're close, but we're not touching. And our fins are up high to not disturb the silt. You can see the silt at the bottom. By the way, this is there for who knows 10,000s of. I mean, I don't know how long this has been there, but it's undisturbed. As you can see, there's no marking, and that's why cave divers are pretty awesome. You can go into a cave that thousands of people have been to, and you can still see how it looked, years and years, thousands of years ago.
That's my paralens hanging down.
Yeah.
We all brought cameras so we could film each other.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I would not be having that hang down.
The one thing I will add is that because the flow is so high in this cave and other caves, if you do happen to kick some silt, it's not a problem. It goes away because the flow just takes it away.
Even right here, it was ripping.
Oh yeah, this was bad. All right, so here we go. So we head past that restriction. We get to the diamond tent. So here's what I'm talking about. You can see this hole right here. That's the size of the hole, and then you'll see the size of me. But Woody goes first.
I gotta pull through. I mean, you don't understand. It's flying.
Insane.
I'm kicking here, guys. There's no other
Any
way to get
kicking
through.
goes.
You
The
can't-
diamond sense.
But part of being a cave diver is being aware of where you can do that,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, look, you could look at the sand; it's just flying by.
Yeah, no, this is insane. This flow is ridiculous.
So I was the first to go through this very tight restriction.
And you got stuck the first time.
I did.
When
I
I
did.
saw that you get stuck, I'm like, well, why am I gonna try?
So I go, and then
Stuck.
I have to come out and say, nope, I got to turn the other way. Look how much I'm kicking. You
yeah, but
have
you can
to.
see it takes it away. The
You
flow
have to.
just blows it through. And then
And here's where I get
are you
stuck.
stuck?
I'm stuck there, yeah. I'm like, all right, that didn't work. Turn my body. Turn, and maybe this will work.
And I'm like, okay, so if Woody got stuck
What were you
and
thinking there?
struggled
Seriously.
to make it through, like I'm just looking at Josh and I'm like, really?
So
Like,
when
why-
you saw that, were you already like, there's no...
Yeah, I'm like, why am I gonna bother? I mean, look at me. I'm like,
But the
Yeah,
key was
okay.
turning my body to lean on my right.
do you want me to go? Okay.
The key, Gus, was getting on that, leaning to the right side and being squirming around it.
Yeah, okay.
It's really tight, everybody.
Yeah, no, I hear you. The trick is to be half my size. That also helps.
Look at that little hole you got to get through. Gus looks bigger than that. It physically does. It doesn't look
make
possible.
any sense. Yeah. So anyway, so here I am. I'm trying
I'm
to.
laughing because you're probably looking at that going, I'm not going through there.
I'm not gonna fit. Now the cool news is that when you went through, you started recording from the other side.
Yeah.
So we actually have like a double camera action here.
Oh, awesome.
So we get to see me trying to make it through from both angles.
All right, so here you
Look
go.
at this. I'm bigger than the hole. It's not gonna work.
How in the world did you get through this? Now that I'm looking at it. Okay, right now you're way bigger than the hole. I don't know how you got through that. I forget. So I do remember filming you and you were stuck for a bit.
Yes, a bit. That's an understatement.
Wait, listen.
So-
I just heard a my Gus underwater.
I'm like just back and forth. Like what? How?
Okay, regroup. Very good, Gus. Regroup. That's what you needed to do. Awesome, dude. You never gave up.
I regrouped a few times. All right,
Now
so
this
this
is
is
me
from
on the
your
other
side.
side.
Yeah. So same timing. It's
Look
just
at this. Look.
switching.
I was looking at you going, yes. Yes, you got it. Pull, baby, pull.
Obviously, the flow is not helping.
Yes. And I think you are up. And stuck.
Go back.
Back it up. Let's do that again.
And the worst part is that I was so stuck that even if I let go, the current wouldn't push me
No,
back.
you were wedged in at that
I was
point.
wedged.
Well, but for safety, we had Josh in back of him and me in front of him.
Yes.
So he wasn't going to be permanently
Look at
stuck.
that. I'm just wedged. That I'm trying to get out at that point. Not even go through. I'm trying to like.
Oh, you were trying to back up there?
Yes, and I'm already wedged.
I love the double angle that we got. That is really cool.
I'm like, I don't know, man.
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm talking to you. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you didn't give up. Once you leaned right, that was the ticket.
I backed up a little bit just to look more at the angle that I was going to take.
Yes.
I remember Josh saying that when I backed out all the way to here, he thought we were done. He's like, I think the dive is over. He cannot make it through.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Here you go.
I'm not a quitter.
And take two. Gus,
Oh, yeah.
kicking. You
For
got to
sure.
get in there. Plenty of flow. Not that you were kicking big time, man. You had to.
Do not float or kick
No.
on caves.
No, they don't
That's
say
what we've
that.
been
That's
saying.
not true. Depends on.
That's what we
depends
keep
on
saying.
where.
Yeah. So in this case, if you can see, I try to get a different angle. I'm going like under the rock to see if I can go at like a diagonal.
I was just like, remember filming you going, I don't know if he's going to make it. I'm really proud of you, dude. You did this. This is not
Yeah.
easy for your size.
So I'm going at a
Coming-
different angle and kicking from the wall. Of
Now,
course.
remember, he's got to come back through that to get out of the cave. Just a reminder, he's probably thinking that under there as well. Yes.
Josh was so happy when I made it.
And you were as well. And
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm like, okay, great. So this is from the other angle.
Through. Wait.
Yeah.
Are you through?
No. This is me. I just rewind it a little bit so they can see it from the other angle how I work. And you heard, and also to compare the excitement of Josh celebrating, and then I make it through, and Woody.
A little bit more. That's all you have right there. I know I was excited.
Woody says nothing. Nope. That was it.
I was
like,
excited.
thanks, bro.
I was excited, man.
So happy for me. Dang. All right, so then Josh makes it through. Unbeknownst to him, drama is happening on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
So after we made it through the toughest restriction, by the way, this is Josh's favorite cave. So he has, I don't know how many caves, dives in this cave. Mm-hmm. So you can see that he makes it through like no issue, right? It's a non-issue for him. I mean, it's still tight, but he knows how to do it.
And by the way, he was wearing a Choptima rebreather, so it was a chest mount rebreather. There was nothing on his back either. And here's Josh.
Yep.
Now,
So
I
you can
think
see
at this point I was already
Jiggle.
having a rebreather failure.
Yep. So what he finds in the other side, once he makes it through, and you will see it too, is Woody's going through some
Look at the
major drama.
Now listen, when a rebreather has bubbling like that, that's a problem. Rebreathers should not have bubbles. Look at the amount of bubbling I had going on.
Yeah.
My ADV, for those in the know, my automatic dill valve was stuck, open,
And I'm trying to
Giving me-
hold you too.
giving me tons of air. It's just flying air into my loop. So I'm like being shoved up and in air into my mouth. So imagine it's
So let
filling me up with air. So it's pushing me up and it's going in my mouth. So I'm having to
Yeah. So one thing I did here is I immediately dropped my light off, like just let it rest in my arm. I dump all the air in my wing and try to wedge my feet on the rock to hold you down. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but I noticed as soon as I saw that you were like uncontrollably like bubbling and going up, I'm just like hanging onto you because I had no idea how high that thing was. Like in that point, we were in troubleshooting mode.
Yep.
We weren't panicking or anything.
No.
We're just trying to figure out what the problem is. So
even at that point there, I'm not panicking. I'm just like,
No.
all right, I'm going to cut off. The procedure would be
I'm wedged. And once I saw that you knew what you were doing, I'm like, okay, now I'm not helping. I'm just going to get out of the way.
the procedure here, everybody, is when you have uncontrollable bubbling like this, known as a boom, you cut off your tanks. Where is the bubbling coming from? Because you don't really know when the bubbling is going on. You just see bubbles. You don't know, so I cut off my tank. Calm, I'm safe there. And I'm going to figure out what is the problem.
So Josh is asking you, you're
I'm
right?
like, 1 second. 1 second. I remember that.
You're stopping. This is another thing that I thought it was very smart, of you, and kind of like your training kicks in is go to the line, right? Just stay by the line because if something
Definitely.
bad happens or whatever, we're already there. We can follow it on the way out.
That was a natural get to the line and
Yep.
then give me a second and let me deal with this problem.
Yep. So you're right on the line,
On purpose. I wrapped my
Yep.
arm around it.
and then we were like, okay, no, we have to go. So I was like, okay, back through this tight restriction. So you make it through. Again, Woody at that point, his tank is closed, but he's still in the rebreather because your rebreather works.
No problem.
Yep.
I was basically on a semi-closed mode,
Yep.
and I was working perfectly at
Yep.
that point. But
Yep.
what's funny is it started to work again.
Mm-hmm.
When I turned it on to add dill, the ADV didn't. It somehow
He held it,
held it, and then I was fine.
and here I come through the same restriction, but I guess with the flow, it was a lot easier, so we made it through. Okay, so this is the bedding plane. So you can see how tight it is. You can see Woody barely has any room to make it in there. So he starts going through. So you have...
Sideways, like NASCAR going.
So
through
you have that tie restriction. So now you're going to see me go through that with no room. Glad these rocks are smooth.
It's fun, by the way, everybody going through there.
yeah.
You're coming in, and it's like you slide through sideways. It's really fun.
All right, so here I come.
Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh man, without a sidewinder, Gus, you were definitely not getting through there.
Yeah.
All right, man. You made it through, and you're a
Cave
big
diving. I hope my wife doesn't see this.
boy. Sidewinder in action.
Anyway, we made it to the outside. We're down. I'm starting to pick up the line. Our dive is over. Obviously, Woody had a problem. And then he says, I'm just going to go. And you did something really cool, which is you took the oxygen tank that we had said, you know, just in case. We bring an aluminum 40 full of O2, 100% O2. Just in case somebody has a problem, we can put them on 100% O2. So you said, I'm going to go out because I have problems. The exit was back there. And you grabbed the tank on the way out.
But I asked you.
Yep.
I didn't just bail on them. I said, hey, is it okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to go out. And you were like, yes, it's
Go for
okay.
it.
And you have Josh.
Yep.
So I just, you know, once
you
somebody
told
has a
Josh.
problem, you really need to be the guy that goes out first.
Yeah.
I told both of you guys. As long as you two were okay with it at that point,
But you can see on the top left corner. I know your face is kind of on the way there. You know, when we're doing the reviews, but you can see the stuff just flying by like a million miles an hour. Just
ripping right there.
yeah. This is the part that you didn't see, which is because of the heavy flow. I'm like, look, if I go head first, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to reel quick enough. So I'm gonna do it backwards. So I went backwards on this one. I wish Josh wasn't like affected by the flow as much, because I think this video would have been cool if we capture the whole thing, so you can see me kind of going backwards. But I'm just looking back, like, where's the line going? Okay, all right, I know what I have to do, and I start going backwards.
That's funny.
Yeah, because that way I can kick and slow it down, right? Here we go. Reverse reeling.
And that will just blow him all the way out, guys. That's how strong that. Look at it. Look at the particles.
Yeah. That's the sign, by the way, the cave diving sign. So if you can see, I'm trying to stay off the bottom, reeling and kicking. Kind of. Yeah. So going backwards. Where's the line? There it is. And just keep going. Yeah, Josh is just getting pushed.
We all can.
So hard. I mean, look at his hair.
We all could improve our camera work, but it's very tough in there.
For sure.
Look at that camera shot. That's nice. Pretty
Yeah.
rock.
Good job, Josh.
Well, you didn't show them my camera that I left on and scraped through the restriction for like 5 minutes.
Through the bedding plane. So I'm still going backwards here. It's a little bit of a way to go.
Funny.
But you know, this is another thing. I'm gonna pause there for a second. This is another thing that we do get in comments a lot is, why don't you guys, like, if people are not cave certified, why don't they just take a line and do it? Because it's not easy to just take a line and do it. We actually spend days worth of our cave diving training learning how to use lines. So you can see my reel is away from my body, like as long as my arms can go, and the line is going away from me, right? I'm not tangled into my tangs or whatever, which is something that can happen to someone who wasn't trained. And this is not something that I'm specialist at doing or whatever. Every cave diver can do this. You know, maintaining the line away from your body is part of training and learning how to do it and not get tangled in the process. So you can see the line is always like below me, and my kicks are high, and I'm staying away from it. All right, so we just came out, and this is your camera just dangling and recording everything. But the reason why, you know, I left this in here is for people to see that even though you had a problem, and you can go back and rewind a little bit and see that when I was picking up my line, I can still see your light back there. You're still keeping an eye on us. And even when we came out and did our safety stop and all of that, you were right above us. I saw that. So you're always like, yes, I'm closer to being out than everyone, but I'm still not gone. I can still come in and help if anything. And we can see your fins. And only a few seconds later, those are my fins. Those are Josh's fins.
Yeah,
so
we're standing.
The three of us came together.
We're standing on the stairs that go up to the deck, just so you know what that is right there. That's a really cool video that we had at the front and the back and everything. Really nice.
And people get to see us, doing cave dives as well. I do think we should go back and do it right.
I loved this cave. You remember I told you that? I love the energy of it. I loved that tight restriction and that you had to angle your body to get around it. I told Josh that after NU, and I'm like, we must go back. And I think what we need is just some better lighting or better. We got to think about the camera angles better now that we've done it.
Yeah.
And
maybe get some better cameras too. I don't know. Because we have all those tiny action cameras or whatever.
It wasn't bad considering.
Yeah, the quality's not bad. But the angles and we could have done a better job, and that's my fault. I feel like we need to step up our game recording these, and again, I want to go back. I don't envy all the hard work to get into Jug Hole though. Like that long walk is a killer. Like even for you. No, you were in shape. At the end, you were like,
the walk from the parking lot. I forgot about that. The parking lot to the entrance of the cave is very long. Is it a half a mile?
No, I think is like a quarter mile to half a mile. It's like a kilometer.
But put in perspective of the number of tanks and rebreathers and gear we got to get a quarter of a mile back.
Yeah, it was like I would say like 600 meters or so. I mean, it was a long walk, and it's not like a perfect walk. It's like all these roots and stuff, and like dropping yourself. It's just hard. Other than that,
I loved it.
I like the cave. It was cool. So I'm glad we got to react to it, and I'm glad people got to see us doing some cave dives and answering the question of what happens if you have a rebreather failure deep in a cave, and what happens if you're bigger than the restrictions that you're trying to get through.
And if you do have a problem with your rebreather and you're deep in a cave, what is the number one thing, the number one single most important thing that is drilled into our heads that you saw?
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
That's right.
You're trained. That's the biggest thing that you can't do. Okay, yeah, there's a problem, and it's able to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So
that was fun.
Great one, man. That was awesome.
I hope people enjoyed watching our reaction. If you want more, if you want to see us do even more cave dives, just let us know. Let us know in the comments below, and we'll go diving.
I just gave you a bunch of footage of cave diving I did recently, so
that was crazy.
Well, thank you, everybody. That was a great one, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks for putting that together.
Thank you, everyone, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We also have the new merch store, which is out already, shopdivetalk.com or https://shopdivetalk.com. Go and pick up a bunch of stuff. There's hundreds of items out there.
Awesome. I ordered like 20 items.
You went bananas on that. Absolutely. And order everything. I ordered a bunch of stuff as well. But that is the best way to support us, guys. Thank you so much to everyone watching these videos, and again, to our members for becoming members and supporting these trips and us being able to record these videos. But other than that, I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, everybody.